Hi! Hi guys! I'm Stephanie Soriano from the College of Architecture. I have so much admiration for kids that having to be assigned at Ascension Elementary School made me excited. With the number of children we met, there were two cute little boys that were just too adorable for words. The first boy was from our very first and only Fieldwork back in the first semester. I think his name was Harvey. Yeah, his name was Harvey. His mouth is so cute and he has like cat whisker dimples on the top of his chin. It was so cute that all of us really adored him. And the next boy was from our first Fieldwork for the second semester. His name was Rajin, and his cluster was actually being handled by another group. But whatever, we like group hopping, so that's how I met that boy. Ah, he was so adorable and maybe a bit older, but really, really cute. They had an activity where they had to draw, and I remember him sketching the universe with a man dressed in a superhero costume. He was good, actually. For his age, has um, he has a vast thinking while the other kids were drawing a house or the mountains or the sun, trees, and the like. But what struck me the most was the moment when I asked him about what he wanted to be when he grows up. He answered driver. And that made me skeptic because usually for kids his age, he would need to be a doctor, a teacher, a nurse, and whatever. But instead, he wanted to be a driver. Then maybe I thought he wanted to be a pilot or a sailor. He just doesn't know how to call them. So I followed up a question. Driver ng ano? Then he said, driver ng truck. I was taken aback, seriously. I asked why. He told me that he wanted to help his uncle soon. That was also unable to read. It made me really sad because I love reading. I was never the same after my conversation with that little boy. He made a strong impact on my life without him knowing. Quite frankly, it did very much. Back in high school, we had outreach and immersion. To be honest, I like doing those things. It exposes myself to the bold part of reality. Being in there, teaching kids, playing with them, cooking for them, weren't even tiring at all, especially when I see them smiling and laughing and saying thank you for being with them that day. It sets out a feeling of satisfaction, being able to touch their lives for once. Little do they know they touch mine more than I could ever possibly thought of. I myself aspire to be somebody someday. They do too. However, it was really sad to think that there were some of them who limit their dreams just because they were already aware of what state they were in. The experience made me realize how lucky I am. It made me realize that I already have more than enough when they are deprived of the world's luxuries because they had less. It also made me realize how lacking the government is when it comes to reaching out. They tackle so much general issues which sometimes don't make sense at all, when in fact there are more specific details to keep an eye and hands on. The world's greatest enemy is inequality. For our last fieldwork, We plastered the wall with cement. We, we mixed, we dug, we shoveled and all that. Maybe it could be considered as the most difficult part since it's normally a man's work. But honestly, I like doing that and it wasn't even difficult at all. Although it was hard to flatten the cement on the wall, it takes patience, really. The satisfying part was having to remember the reason we were doing it for. The children and their priceless smiles and gratitude for the things we've done, just enough to make exhaustion go away. The prime values of being a Timasian student, which we were constantly reminded of, were being committed, competent, and compassionate. Truly, we've been committed to our task. We did what we were ought to do. Competent in a way that we were always really participating in everything. I remember the DRRM practice. It was fun despite the pain I felt afterwards from all those tiles around my body. And yes, compassionate, most of all. Mulan, from the movie, said, "My duty is to my heart." Eventually, that applies. Everything that we do it because we want to do it. It wasn't just because we were required to do it. We could never do things bad when we don't have the heart for it. Hmm, let's see. I practically did everything we were told, even those that my group wasn't asked to. But I think I'd like to teach kids to create more artsy crafts or whatever. And I'd also like to paint a mural and put my face in it if ever given a chance. Yeah, well, I don't know really.